right, you just know your kids don't use drugs or alcohol. Guess what? Think again. Half of all Maryland teens have tried alcohol, and the average age when teens have their first drink is 13 years old. That's why it's vital that you know the truth about drugs and alcohol, and you share that with them. This story really scares me, Dr. Kimberly Gordon. She's a psychiatrist with the Sheppard Pratt Health System. 13?
Yes.
That is so young.
Very young, right?
So we have this week here. It's dedicated to National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week. Tell me what's it all about?
So National Alcohol and Drug Abuse Week is really an opportunity for parents to discuss with their kids the negative consequences for drug and alcohol use.
So what are some of the common myths that teens may have about drugs
Too
and
many
alcohol?
to count, but some of the common myths that teenagers have is that if you drink underage and you don't drive, it's not a problem. Another common myth is that marijuana is harmless, and we know that that can also lead to difficulties in their life. In addition to prescription pills, because they're prescribed by doctors, kids oftentimes think that they're harmless. They're not going to cause any problems for them.
All right, so I have a 12-year-old at home, so obviously I'm going to go home and have this conversation with you. How do you talk to them about this?
You know, the conversation has to be open. Kids need to find out from their parents earlier about drugs and alcohol. Some studies show that you should talk about it before they're 8 or 10 years old. Oftentimes, celebrity and the media glamorize alcohol and drug use. You want to have your kids understand that there are negative consequences of drug and alcohol use. And you want your kids to feel like this is an open conversation, it's non-judgmental, and that the opportunity is always there, and they're always approachable.
So as a parent, what should you be looking for? What are some of the signs?
So some of the leading signs for drug and alcohol use in kids is a change in their behavior. So emotional outbursts, they may become more withdrawn, they may have different association with their peer groups. Sometimes they have failing grades or want to skip school. And there are physical signs. You can look for the bloodshot eyes or the change in their appearance, their grooming, losing weight is a common symptom.
Are we seeing kids experimenting earlier? Because 13 seems so young.
13 is young. Oftentimes, what is really important to know is that if you're 13 and you're using drugs, then the risk is greater. So obviously, all kids at 13 aren't using drugs, but a lot of kids are, and they're communicating that to their peers. And so you want to get a head start with talking to your kids about it.
So lastly, Dr. Gordon, where can we send them for help? Where can we go for help?
You can send them to Sheppard Pratt, but in addition to that, you can have your parents look on the website, sheppardpratt.org. Also, the most important thing is to start in your community. Start with your school counselors and start with your family doctor.
All right, Dr. Gordon, thank you so much. We're going to have that conversation tonight.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot.